Fat boy feels.
Fat boy feels. Fat boy feels like things need to change. I'll be completely honest with y'all, the past week and change has not been my best with diet. So what I'm working on right now is figuring out what's been happening from like the mental standpoint. And so I definitely went and I ate Taco Bell, and then I went and ate KFC right after that. And like, that's not cool. I think we talked about accountability before. This is like one of those instances of like, all right, let's figure it out. We are going to eat clean and train mean, but focus on eating clean. Now, why are we talking about this instead of something else? Because this is like a deeper thing I've noticed with myself when it comes to consistency, which is like really the topic of today. Consistency and determination suck because you have to like keep going over and over and over again, even when you don't want to. Sometimes you do fall off the horse. And the point of it is that when you do fall off the horse, when you do go to Taco Bell at 10 o'clock at night, even after working out the next day to get back on the horse. And so that's what we're doing. Whenever I like have those missteps or I have like those bad days, I typically am unable to take it for what it is, breathe, process it and work through it and come back. And sometimes it like takes 2-3 days for me to like get over something that happened to me or something that I did. I think the point of consistency is not to be perfect, but to treat mistakes as outliers and then to get back to doing what you normally do. And over time, you'll see that if you're consistent, it will all balance out and you'll still get to your goal. Now, I know this is a little broader than usual. I don't think I need to go too far into it because consistency is consistency. You don't need a preacher. You just need someone to do it. So that's what we're gonna do. And I think I found a really good way to do that. What I noticed is that I love flavorful, delicious food. So for me, instead of like winding my way back into like super clean eating by like, oh, today I'm just gonna have one fat meal and then I'll have a salad and then another salad. I'm gonna start creating meals that are like kind of like quasi healthy, but like not super healthy, but still pretty good. So today what we're gonna do is a petit filet mignon with chimichurri, and we're gonna do it pan seared. I've created a vegan butter. Just because it's non-dairy doesn't mean it's healthy. So we want to use just a bit of it just to give it just a touch of flavor. From there, we're gonna do some really simple pan seared asparagus and then move into some creamy cauliflower mash. Now, be mindful of your macros. If you're a macros person, be mindful of your calories. This will be a lower carb dish, but it's still gonna be packed full of calories. Now, I know you're saying, Richard, the point is to eat healthy, and that is true, we are. But we also have to realize we're human, and part of consistency is understanding like getting back to that peak. By having this set of meals that are like flavorful and tasty, they're not gonna break us calorie-wise. I'm really excited. This recipe was inspired by Chef Robert Irvine. Once again, brother, if you're out there and you ever see my show, I would really love to like just be an intern on your show. Idea, guys. Maybe I could like pick up the banner of like Dinner Impossible when Robert Irvine retires, but then would that mean I have to be a chef? Probably. Okay, I'll shut up. Let's get in the kitchen. Today we're gonna start with our chimichurri. Now I know you're saying, Richard, we've already made chimichurri. That is correct, we have, but that chimichurri was blended and honestly, it wasn't rocking like that. Like it was good, but I think I've discovered in doing this that I really prefer a nice hand chopped chimi. So once again, we go over the ingredients. We have here our spices and our liquids. We've got our chipotle seasoning salt. We've got some paprika and red chili flakes all blended together. We have our scallions, oven roasted yellow chili pepper, garlic, red wine vinegar, and some EVOO. And our herbs, the heart and soul of chimichurri. We're gonna have parsley, cilantro, and I'm gonna add a little bit of oregano and just a touch of basil. I love basil, it's super effervescent. Be careful, you want light basil in this. Basil can overpower any dish. All right, so let's get started. You see all these ingredients is really starting to mold together into this beautiful sauce. And I like mine, ooh, splashy. I like mine just a little chunky. Next up, we have our cauliflower mash. I love it because it's low carb, delicious, and it gives you a similar taste and texture to mashed potatoes when done right. Also, want to be careful about over blending. If you're gonna use a blender to make it, go for it. But personally for me, I think it's a little safer to do it on the stovetop. So to do that, I'm gonna start off with my cauliflower rice, our garlic, and our scallions. Then we'll add our parsley. This is vegan butter and vegan Parmesan. We're trying trying to be a little healthier by limiting the dairy in this recipe, but still, remember, we're gonna have a high fat content, so just beware. We'll then add a little bit of paprika, a little bit of our smoked chipotle salt, and some almond milk. What I'm gonna do is saute the cauliflower rice in the pan with a little bit of EVOO. From there, I'll add in these ingredients after it's cooked, and then we'll use our masher to try to get like a chunky cauliflower mash. Now, if you want it a little smoother, you can put it in a blender, you can do like a hand blender, your choice. For me, I tried the hand blender and it just comes out a little too smooth, a little too creamy. It's almost like a cauliflower cream, and I definitely want to get like the potato effect. All right, let's get going. Oh yeah, we sizzling, baby. Now we are going to transition this into a mixing bowl and we're going to mash it up. Just kind of plopped in. Okay, so I want to do a cauliflower mash, but I don't think I added enough of the almond milk. And once again, this isn't a perfect show. I'm an imperfect person, and I'm not a trained chef. What I have made is not, well, some would describe it as cauli mash. I wouldn't call it that. I would say that this is more cauliflower risotto. Either way, cauliflower risotto with steak is gonna be fucking delicious. So we're just gonna ride with it. But once again, if you want that cauli mash, throw this in a blender, blend it up for a little bit, and you'll definitely get that creamier texture. All right, now is the time for our vegetation in the dish. We're using the asparagus to serve as a buffer or like a bridge between our cauliflower mash and our steak. Like Robert Irvine says, people like food piled high. So what I'm gonna do is just quickly cut off the ends of these bad boys, and then we'll have our spears ready to be stackable. Oh yeah, you know what time it is. It's crunchy time. Crunchy time, crunchy time, crunchy time. This one isn't as crunchy as I'd like. There it is. There it is. That's it. I like the bottom of the asparagus better than the top. Pan is nice and hot. I'm gonna turn this down to medium heat. Now, there are a couple ways to cook this steak. If you want, you can just pan sear it on each side on medium heat and then put it in the oven for a couple minutes. I won't go over specifics, just Google how to cook a filet mignon. But for me, I'm just gonna pan sear it, keep it on 2 minutes on one side, keep it on 2 minutes on the other. That should give us a pretty good medium steak. I'm gonna use pepper, paprika, a little bit of granulated garlic, and then finish off with just a touch of salt. Sizzling baby part 2. You can actually see it on the side, so it'll typically give you a pretty good indicator of where it's at temperature-wise. And now it's time to drop the butter bomb. So this is gonna be your vegan butter, melt it down. Then we're gonna take some of our herbs. We got in here some thyme, salt, pepper, paprika, and we You see that thyme coming out of there? It's just a little expression there at the end, just to give it a little bit of that really rich flavor that we want. And I'm gonna take this off. I'm just, yeah, look at that, yeah. And now we let it rest. All right, y'all, it's hot as a mug in this kitchen, but the beautiful result is right here, and now we're ready to plate. Now, I know what some of y'all saying, Richard, your plating is terrible. I know this, I'm trying. Like I said, if there's somebody out there who wants to come in for an episode and help a brother plate, we can do a whole episode just on plating. I'm more than happy to do that. But for now, I'm gonna just do my best, all right? So just bear with me. So first, I'm gonna start off with a collar. I was gonna call it collar mash, but it's more like the collar risotto. This looks like a risotto, definitely not like a mash. But once again, if you want to make mash, just put it in the blender if it comes out like this and smooth it out. Or sorry, food processor, whatever you have. And now we take our asparagus, form, what would you call this? A bridge? Now, our steak. And now we finish with the coup de grace, our chimichurri topping. We're just gonna be real generous with this. I mean, real generous. Yeah, so I think we did better with plating this time. Obviously, you're always looking to improve, but I think this is a little bit better. All right, and here we have it, the completed version of what was in my mind. Once again, we didn't execute as much as I thought. I guess fortuitous events, I decided just to roll with the cauliflower rice instead of making it a mash. Overall, I'm really happy with this. I think plating we did much better. And yeah, I think this is a really good like transition meal to get me back into eating healthier, but still help satiate those desires that I've been fulfilling over the past week and a half. Honestly, when I think about consistency, it ultimately goes into like the eternal fire, the eternal flame. It takes that flame to keep going. And sometimes you just don't have it, and that's okay. Sometimes that flame burns a little lighter. Sometimes it burns like super hot. You just gotta do the best with where you're at the moment and do whatever you need to do to healthily reignite that flame. So for me, it's cooking this meal. For some people, it might be going for a walk, or for some people, it's going out with friends, or some people, it's like having amazing sex with their significant other until literally they can't breathe. To which I say, congratulations, guys. But for us here at Fat Boy Feels, that means getting back to it with awesome workouts and awesome meals. I'm so very grateful for you to join me today on this journey. I know it's not as deep as we normally go. Honestly, where I'm at today, just didn't have the fucking energy for it. But I promise you next week, we'll dig a little deeper. If you want a hoodie, please like, subscribe, and share with 10 of your friends, and we'll enter you into our raffle. Remember to check us out at Fat Boy Feels on all your social media platforms. I'm gonna tear into this. Let's see what happens. Oh, yep. Good medium, okay. I'm not gonna lie, guys, that shit is fire. Do you ever have that bite that's just better than the rest? It was like decadent, a little crunchy, a little sweet, touch of spice. I'm not gonna lie, I'm kind of proud of this one. Fat Boy Feels, we out.